Gig workers are not being paid, well, at least not how they used to be, due to exploitative practices like being underpaid, wear and tear on their vehicles, and not getting sustainable routes that tip well in the first place. It seems that Denzel Washington's character in the Equalizer movie would personally go to these mobile ride sharing and delivery service companies to shake some things up and get some justice himself for the people and make sure they get paid well. Let's hear some of their stories and see what's going on.
So as gig workers, the number one complaint that a majority of us have is we're not getting paid enough for the work that we're doing. And yes, it's a simple job. With food, you're just going to the restaurant, you pick up the order, you drop it off at the customer's door. That's your basic level of gig work. After that, you got catering, you got package delivery, and a handful of other gig work that you can do. But the argument is always the same. Why am I not getting paid enough for the work that I'm doing, considering I'm using my personal vehicle to do this work? People say, why don't you just get another job? It's not sustainable. Getting another job might not be an option for some people, and it could be for a variety of reasons. It could be for health reasons, job availability in their area. Maybe that flexibility of gig work works for them versus having a 9-to-5 job. You never know. Everybody's situation is different. But at the end of the day, I think we can all agree that a lot of these gig apps are exploiting their workers.
See, this is the hardest part about being a full-time gig worker. You see, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? I've done no offers. I'm talking terrible offers all day, not seeing much all day, high mileage offers, not worth doing, okay? The sitting around, especially in the summertime, you burning your gas, wasting on your air conditioning and all that. So if you're trying to get into being a full-time gig worker, just know this is the hardest part about being a full-time gig worker. The sitting, waiting for orders all day, okay? You better have some patience, and you better have some tough skin, because ain't everybody can survive doing this. Just letting y'all know that.
I work 40 to 60 hours every week, and sometimes even 80 hours to make the basic survival payments, to pay my bills. Yet, if I speak to someone, they ask me, if you're getting paid $15, $20 an hour, why do you work for them? And they don't ask them, why are they paying me $15, $20? I started because I thought it's going to be flexible. Yes, it is flexible to sign in and sign out, but rest, it is not. I do not have any flexibility in terms of accepting orders. I do not have any flexibility in terms of where I want to go and where I do not want to go. If I try to not to take any order, they'll tell me they'll deactivate my account. They'll give me warnings. If I'm not taking the order in 20 minutes, they'll give me warning that you are late. Yet it's paying me $20 and even less than that. An hour without super, without any personal leave, without any sick leave. Nothing. We just want our basic minimum wage, $26 per hour. That's it. That's all I want.
So I've been Grubhubbing lately since I lost my job back in November. And the exploitative nature of gig work is kind of crazy. And it's like I've always known that it's been there, but I experienced something today. And I was like, man, this is it's a wicked game that we're all playing. This is what I'm saying. Like, there is no other way. Revolution is the only way, because the games, all economy work games, and I call them games. They're not jobs. We don't go to jobs. We go to games. These are games we play for the rich. So this gig game that we play is so exploitative, right? So if you're on Grubhub, you know that, and you drive, you know you have like partner, pro, premier, like your 3 different levels. And premier is like crazy because you got to like keep it at like above 95% acceptance rates, which, by the way, fuck all you gig people between 2015 and today, because I used to drive for DoorDash way back in the day. And back then, those apps used to have like $10 and $5 minimums. And then now they have these little program systems, right? So it's like, if you accept 95%, you know, there's a couple other things you got to keep, you know, make sure you're on time to places. Think your on time rate's got to be high, and your scheduling rate's got to be super high too, right? If you're basically an employee for Grubhub, they give you the privilege of setting your own availability. And like Grubhub will then like make a schedule for you based around your availability, like literally. If you make yourself a slave of Grubhub, they give you the privilege of being their employee, right? But the way that it works on the opposite end is fucked, right? Because it's gig work, right? I'm not your employee. I show up when I can. I work when I can. Like, that's the idea. It's a gig, okay? But if you want to do it that way, right? And so you don't accept a lot of these offers. A lot of these offers are shit, right? They'll want you to drive 10, 12 miles for like $3, right? Like I said, back in the day, there was a $5 minimum. So like you weren't going, and if you had to go 0.1 miles, you were getting paid at least $5, right? That was way back when a lot of these gig apps first came out. And if you want to treat it like a gig, you get penalized, because this week I dropped so the 3 levels are Premier, Pro, and Partner. And so I was at the Pro level. But, sometime like last week and a half ago, I was like, you know what? Like, I don't care about trying to get Premier, like whatever. Because a lot of these drives are shit, and you'll end up going over, like you'll get a bunch, but they're like so much and for so little that you're like barely cracking sometimes $20 an hour, maybe, right? And so I dropped this week from the Pro to the Partner level, and I've just been sitting like around like, man, I feel like I'm not getting any orders. And so I looked into it, and it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Most of the orders go to Premier and Pro. So the people who want to work like a slave, right? And it's funny because they had this at my last job. I was a taxi driver. It's like they want you to do more for the privilege of being an employee. And I want you to know, like, this is how they think about it. I don't care what Mark said about it. I don't care what you think about it. This is how the people who control the game, like, these aren't jobs. We go to games every day. What game are you playing today? I play the Grubhub game. Are you playing the whatever game, office game? You're playing the construction game. It's all games. It's all games, because everything is about exploitation. And that is the way that this country was founded. And we keep pretending every day that we play these games, every day that we pretend that it's not that, is every day that the games become more powerful.
So this was a shopping order for 2 customers. The first customer was a breeze. The second customer, not so much. I was shopping for her. She ordered a bag of snack-sized candies with Kit Kats, Reese Cups, Hershey bars, and Almond Joys. They were not in stock in the candy aisle, so I marked them out of stock. I didn't see anything similar. I'm moving on to dairy items, and she messages me, get the bigger bag. It says they're in stock. That's her exact words. And I didn't reply at this point because she immediately sent another message that said, can you get me Bob Evans mashed potatoes? No, please, no, anything like that. And I messaged her. I said, I'm sorry, I'm unable to add to your order, and I will look for another candy for you. So I'm in the dairy aisle, and she orders 0 sugar coffee creamer. They did not have the flavor she ordered in stock, so I substituted the substitution that Spark was suggesting, and I head back to the candy aisle. I do not see a candy similar, and I figured I'll look in the Easter section before I, tell her that I can't find anything. And then she rejects the substitution for the creamer, so I went and put that back. I'm heading up to the front of the store to finish shopping, and she messages me again and says, I added a new creamer. And I told her, you can't add to your order. Is there another creamer that I can get for you? She responded with, no, the creamer is with the mashed potatoes. So at this point, I'm realizing I think she made a whole new order, but she doesn't think that she did that. She thinks that she added it to the order that I'm shopping for. So I head to the Easter aisle. I look for candy. I don't find one exactly what she ordered, but I did find one with Reese Cups, Kit Kats, Hershey bars, and Rolos. So I send her a picture of those to ask her if those are okay, and she does approve. She says, I'll take those. She said, I will edit your tip. You're bringing my mashed potatoes and creamer, right? I told her, I said, no, that will be coming from another driver or something along the lines of that. I don't remember the exact words I said, but I did say, no, another driver will be bringing that. And now that I'm looking back on it, I'm like, maybe I came off a little bit rude when I said that, but she didn't say please or thank you or anything along the lines of that. So I don't really think that probably offended her too much when I said that. She didn't respond after that, so I just kind of let it go and went on with delivering it. And today I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a look and see if that customer reduced the tip. She didn't take the tip completely away, but she did reduce it. I'll put a screenshot here. She did reduce it, and I'm thinking maybe that she took the tip away from me to give to the other driver. I do remember the customer's name. I will for sure never be shopping or delivering for her ever again. But yeah, this was my story time. I figured I would share with you guys. This is a life of a delivery driver. We can't please every single customer.
If you've been doing gig work on the side and you still can't figure out why you're not able to make ends meet, this video is for you. Whether you're doing DoorDash, Uber Eats, Walmart Spark Delivery, these things aren't going to get you closer to where you want to be, and I'm going to tell you why. Gig work platforms sell us the dream that we can be our own boss and we can make money on our own time and free us from like the constraints of a 9-to-5. But what they really are is a race to the bottom, and I say this as someone with experience. I have done several gig work apps in the past. There was a point in my life where I spent every weekend sitting up at Walmart waiting for deliveries. That at the end of the day, after I'd worked a million hours, were barely enough to cover the gas and food that I had to eat that day. So again, these apps are a race to the bottom. They will always pay less and less and less to see how much they can get away with. They are able to pay you less and treat you worse than an actual job is legally allowed to, and you just take it. Because they sell you the idea of like being your own boss or being able to make extra money on the side on your own time. What they're not telling you is that they're not going to pay you enough for wear and tear on your car. You're going to be sitting and waiting for orders that pay well for hours. And at the end of the day, you're going to spend more time doing that and making less money than you would with a typical job.
I'm kind of at my wit's end trying to make gig work for me. I just feel like I'm constantly spinning my wheels, just trying to scrape by. Like I am burning the candle at both ends, just trying to do work or work in a way that doesn't feel soul sucking. And I'm so fucking tired. I'm so tired. I'm tired of feeling this constant weight on my chest, weight of financial insecurity that I feel every single fucking day. Sometimes I feel like I can't breathe because of it. It's so heavy trying to make this work. I initially started doing gig work as my main sources of income in 2020 when I finally had the time and space to sit down and think about what I need out of a job. And I realized that I need to do a job or jobs that make me feel emotionally fulfilled to some degree. And that I'm really not interested in working your standard 9-to-5 corporate job. Went back to school. I became a nutritional therapy practitioner, started working in the wellness space, and I was doing dog walking, pet care as well. And now I'm just doing pet care as my main source of income. And it's just really hard. I am somebody that does not fit into the molds in a lot of areas of my life, but especially when it comes to a job or career. I don't fit into the status quo of the capitalist mold. I don't know how to work a job that feels emotionally fulfilling, that meets these various needs of mine that I have for a job, and also have financial stability. I don't know how to do it. I either have to sacrifice having financial stability for emotional fulfillment or sacrifice emotional fulfillment for financial stability. And that feels like a really fucking awful sacrifice on both ways. Like, I wish there was a way to have both, and I don't know how. I don't see it. I don't see the path in front of me. I don't know how to do it. So if you have been able to balance emotional fulfillment and financial stability in the work that you're doing, can you please tell me about it? Because I would really love to hear about it. I would love to hear about it. Because I'm not feeling hopeful, and I would love to feel more hopeful. Thanks. I feel so hurt right now. I feel so hurt right now. This was a really big order, and I would have never taken this 12-mile away order if it wasn't for that tip. It was an apartment building, and it required 4 huge tote bags. And I'm trying to remember if there was water or not. I don't think there was, but it required, yes, I think there were 2 cases of water, but I'm not 100% sure. It was, maybe not, but it was huge. I had to carry 2 of the huge bags on my arms, one inside my wagon and one on the kind of dangling off the wagon so that nothing on the other tote bag would get crushed. And when I get there, there's 2 tiny children, and they told me to put it all on the ground and they would carry it all up. There's no way they could have done that. There's absolutely no way they could have even carried some of the items by themselves at all. So I was like, hon, I can bring it up to your door and then leave. And, I helped these kids, did everything. The only thing that was maybe they weren't happy about with the order is the hangers. They ordered these black hangers, so many of them that it was bulky. It took up my whole trunk of the amount of hangers that they had. But they didn't have them. So Walmart told me to replace them with the white ones, in which I did. If they didn't like the white hangers, they could have easily did a return. But instead they robbed me of my time and my gas, because Instacart didn't give me crap for that order, as far as I'm concerned, especially with it being 12 miles away. That cost me over a gallon of gas to get there and back. I'm venting right now because I'm hurt. It's reasons like this that I gave my state fair ticket away in my coupon book. It's because of customers like this that make me just not even want to work for anybody. I'm really sad. I know it's not that much money, but for someone like me, it is. And I'm really hurt. It's unfair.
As someone who left the 9-to-5 life about 7 months ago, there is not many things that embarrass me. Not many things at all that embarrass me. I mean, I come on TikTok and yap about anything and everything until I'm blue in the face. Like, there truly is not a lot that can embarrass me. But there is one thing that I am still slightly embarrassed about. And I'm going to share it with you like I share everything else, okay? I still have this slight inkling of embarrassment about the fact that I have to work gig economy jobs and roles to supplement some of my income. And I know that this is something that is so stupid. I know it. But for whatever reason, because of the way that I learned to go to college, get a degree, do things the right way so that I could be set up for life, and then I ended up pretty much eating shit throughout my entire 20s. I know that I was spoon-fed a big-ass lie, but I still live with the remnants of what that societal pressure puts on people that are in my generation, and even people that are coming after me that still believe in the idea that getting a college degree is going to set you up for life. When the fact of the matter is, it really is not. Especially if you're an entrepreneur, society is not set up for you to succeed. Unfortunately, you have to pave your own way, right? But anyway, I'm saying all of this to say that even though it is still something that embarrasses me, I use my platform, TikTok, and just the gift of gab that I have, as exposure therapy. Because I know that the more that I talk about it, the more that I normalize it, the more that I make it an everyday part of my routine, the more that I show up consistently on TikTok and talk about it to my platform, to my people, to my community, the more normal it will become to me in my head, hopefully, and in my heart, that I am normal. I'm just like everyone else. And it's fine that I have to work sometimes jobs that I don't want to do in order to supplement my income, but I do it because I am afforded the privilege and the opportunity to be able to chase and pursue my dreams. However, it doesn't change the root, which is that It is inherently fucking embarrassing to say, yes, I am actively choosing to be broke in hopes that I will be scrappy enough, smart enough, innovative enough. I will be different enough in whatever industry it is that I am choosing to be in. I will stand out enough to make a difference and create the life that I know that I deserve. That is really hard work to do. And it takes persistence, and it takes fighting every day. And it takes unlearning and relearning and just learning and how to instill a newfound confidence in yourself that money cannot provide you. So I just want you to know that you're not alone. I'm right here with you. I literally wake up and I have this battle with myself every single day, and definitely on a weekly basis. I talk to myself like I'm a loser. I'm not gonna lie. I talk to myself like, what are you doing with your life? Why are you making this difficult? Why can't you be like everyone else? Why can't you just choose the normal route, the easy route? You have to make things so difficult for you, and we could just be getting a steady paycheck and accruing our PTO and having a normal life like every other 29-year-old in this world that has a college degree and that has some sense of normalcy in their life. But instead you choose the hard route. I have those conversations with myself on a weekly basis. It's really hard. A lot of weeks are harder than others too. But it takes a lot of retraining mentally to just even exist as an entrepreneur in a world that is not conducive for us. We are not welcomed in a lot of spaces. We don't fit in a lot of boxes. So you have to fight every day against those societal norms, the things that you were taught, the lies that you were fed. And anyway, I have to admit it. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that I have to do work in the gig economy, but hopefully I think that showing up here on my platform and talking about it in the ways that I do, I get a lot of positive feedback. I get a lot of people that say that I help them, that I'm giving them good advice, I'm helping them with tips and tricks, and that's all that I can hope for in the grand scheme of things, because that is ultimately my purpose in life. So anyway, I'm gonna get off of my soapbox now. Love you guys.
Please like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below on what's going on. I'll see you on the next one.